Hello and welcome to the Full Force Weekly, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury Editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. In this episode, I bring you all the news from the past week in the world of G.I. Joe. So what is it, me? It's the Full Force Weekly. Hello and welcome to a very early edition this week of the Full Force Weekly. Yes, I did hint at the fact that I might have to go a little earlier this weekend. Didn't think it'd be Thursday. So anyway, you're getting me Thursday night in the US and like the middle of the morning everywhere else in the universe. Sorry about that, guys. Apologize for the erratic time periods. But basically, yeah, this will be the weekly for the week. I will not be going live on over the weekend, I'm afraid. Just going to be very busy. So yeah, unfortunately. And of course, we've got Joe Fest as well this weekend. So for those of you going to that, you'll be able to go and hang out, check and chat with some of the lads from the Boss Fight Studio who will be there. Lenny, you may have heard from before. Lenny will be there. Corey Cantaloupe will be there. Henry Hall will be there. Go find them, chat them up. Say hi. And yeah, just enjoy the event in general. And of course, obviously, Skeletron will be there, and Marauders Gun Runners will be there, and it's everyone in the Joe fans hobby will be there. Brahman will be there. I'm trying to think of Super7 will be there. So go and check out Joe Fest if you can. It's going to be amazing. And just a shame I can't go. Codename Iowa will be there, of course. Our very own Brian Sauer and Codename Iowa will be there. So go see Brian, go say hi, go tell him how good his graphics are on our wonderful show as well, please and thank you. Yes. So hello everyone. Lots of you in the chat already. Hello. If you're just joining me, my apologies for going a little early this week, but I'm not going to be able to do it over the weekend. So I thought I would just go a little bit earlier, and we can talk about some of the stuff that there's still been a lot of news this week, by the way. We've had Super7 teases, we've had Hiya reveals, we've had Fans Hobby, who I mentioned a second ago. It's crazy. And I didn't blimmin' put it in here, but I'm going to mention it right now. That 3-pack of LRRP sort of with the pouch that it comes with from Marauder is amazing. It's like a throwback sort of carry case vibe, but it's an actual kind of military pouch with the Marauders patch on it and then the 3 figures going there, which is really cute. So that'd be fun. Did Chris just order us to flirt with Lenny and Corey? Yes, I did. And Henry. Hello, JC. Hello, Scott. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hello, Crimson. Hello, Mr. Person Guy. Destro Designs. Hello, everyone. Squishy. Hi. Hope you're all doing really well. And yeah, let's get in. Yeah, everyone will be there except for the Full Force. My bad. Have a great weekend if you're going to Joe Fest. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second anyway. But for now, for starts, let's talk comics. Now, not a great like loads and loads of news to talk about this week, but we've got Void Rivals and a little bit of Harmer Files to talk about. So let's do it. Bad Wolf says, Chris, or anyone in the chat, can you tell me when Corey left the Hasbro team? Corey was laid off, unfortunately, and that was in 2 years ago now, I want to say. Yeah. Yes, thank Corey, for goodness sake. Yeah. Just checking on the other comments. Right, yes. So, Skybound updates this week. Lots of Void Rivals. We've had issue 31 drop, which I haven't had an opportunity to read yet. So I will be delving into that ASAP Rocky. But effectively, that particular issue, New Comic Book Day on Wednesday, of course, the Skuxoid Liberators have formed for one purpose: the downfall of Skuxoid Alpha, freeing Skuxoid kind from his tyrannical rule. It's Skuxoid versus Skuxide for all the marbles. So if you're not paying attention to Void Rivals, that's probably just going to be completely and utterly nonsense to you. But effectively, there's been this fun sort of like subplot with Skuxoid here, and it's been a fun one. So we'll find out the sort of details of that with this particular issue. But like I said, I haven't read it yet, so I feel like I can't really talk about it. I can't talk about it in any way, shape, or form. Um, but we can talk a little bit about issue 32, which got a couple of page preview and some covers as well. And obviously, Pythona heavy, Cobra La heavy, this one. Derek and Salila have sort of, hopped aboard the dying Leviathan ship of Cobra La's here because they're all on. They've all basically fleed. Is it Junkion? I think they fleed. Well, no, where were they? They might have just been on the Void Rivals planet. I can't remember exactly where they escaped, but yeah, they're on their way to Earth, and it looks like they may be sidetracked ever so slightly here, with well, as you see in the start of the issue here, the Leviathan unfortunately succumbing to injuries suffered in previous issues and crashing to death, and everyone's sort of like fighting their way out of the unfortunately dead massive Leviathan, and end up like in the middle of nowhere. So basically, this one says in the aftermath of the Quintesson War, Darak and Salila are on the run and find themselves lost together with danger looming all around. Kind of fun. What I really liked about Void Rivals are all of these random sort of like characters and from all sorts of different kind of elements. You've got Transformers characters, you've got these new Void Rivals characters, you've got G.I. Joe in there, you've got like random stuff like being incorporated. Rom now is in and around this particular storyline. So it's really fun that they're all kind of like, you've got the weirdness of all these different things. And of course, we've got lunatics joining the fray in a number of issues' time as well. So that's going to be freaking amazing. All of these sort of like, much maligned, sort of like controversial, sort of like characters that people never really like, haven't really liked, in previous years or have found a bit corny or rubbish, have sort of found a new life in these particular kind of comic panels, and I'm loving that. And the more they can kind of bring in, the better, I would say. If we're gonna just keep seeing really cool homages and characters brought in from all over the place, then yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah. What is this LRRP item we are talking about? Completely confused right now. It's a 3-pack of Marauder Vietnam figures that are homaging Tommy, Stalker, and Snake Eyes from their Long Range Reconnaissance Patrol appearance in the comics. It's going to be a Joe Fest exclusive in a carry case, which is a military pouch with a Marauders patch on it. I've shared it on all our socials if you want to, have a look. But that is effectively what I was talking about before from Marauder Gunrunners. It's a Joe Fest exclusive they're doing. It's really fun. They were on Gobatron, says PJ Street Gang. Were they? What is Cobra doing in space anyway? Is this a Farscape style Leviathan? Huntress, the Leviathan can travel all over with no issues. But yeah, they basically were sent out by Globulus, or Pythona was, and a few of the Royal Guard were sent out to. I can't even remember what the purpose was now. I think it was just because of the Transformers, and they were sent out to basically investigate what was going on because they had a Transformer like trapped. I think it was Megatron. I think it was Megatron they had, and Cobra Commander was performing experiments on them. This goes way back into I think the first Cobra Commander miniseries, and also like a couple of like these special issues, like not special issues, but the I think that the Energon Universe sort of specials kind of covered it a little bit as well early on, like one of the first year ones. There you go, cool. So anyway, Void Rivals 32 and some lovely covers as well. We've got Lorenzo Di Felici on this Pythona cover with Derek and Salila as well, as a few royal, and a creepy silhouette in the background, which I think is just another character that's with them, but could be someone that's watching them. We'll have to find out. Here are Derek and Salila sort of chilling out, kind of campfire, like kind of in this weird world that they've landed on. And here's Pythona battling some sort of crazy giant creature on this planet. Again, another good cover, another stunning cover, actually. Sorry, the one on the left, I should tell you who the actual artists are, shouldn't I? Is Connor Hughes, who I believe does Connor Hughes do the close up? No, that's Ben Oliver, isn't it? I'm thinking of. Yeah, Connor Hughes has. I have seen Connor's work a few times now, but yeah, that one on the left is gorgeous in that sort of kind of purple and kind of lilac hues. And then you've got Iban Coelho and Adriano Lucas on cover C, that amazing Pythona about to be eaten by something. It was crazy cool. And I think is probably my favorite of all the covers of these Void Rivals issues. This Void Rival issue, I should say. The two Pythona ones are the ones I'm all about. Are the ones I'm all about. Then we have this kind of quicksand vibe by Andrea Sorrentino. That's cover D. I don't think I'm the only one because I've seen it a few times on like memes and silly things like that. But like, when you're a kid, quicksand was a much bigger problem than it ever ended up being for me in life. I was terrified of quicksand as a child. It was in every single movie, TV show, cartoon, you name it, comic. There was always something like um there was always something quicksand related. It's like a big trope, wasn't it? And then like you kind of realize that it wasn't as big a deal. For me personally, obviously, for those that have had bad experiences with quicksand, yeah, it was. But I was under the impression that everywhere on the beach that I stood was the possibility of being sucked under and never to be seen again. Kitty said. Um, Oh yeah, Jeremy says Cobra La hates inorganic life and was sent out to find the source. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, that was effective. I knew it was Transformers related, as in they were looking for Transformers. Chris definitely has a Pythona fetish. Do I, Huntress? Chris likes a Pythona cover. I'm shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked. I know, Scott. I do love a Pythona cover. I say it every single Void Rivals issue, don't I? Void Rivals, I'm confused. This is actually related to G.I. Joe. It absolutely is. That's why Python is on the cover pretty much every week for the Void Rivals. Yeah, Void Rivals is the Energon universe that Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask, and ROM, and the Lunatics, and Cobra La, and many other G.I. Joe related brands and Hasbro brands are combined together. They're not the beauty part of it is where the IDW kind of Revolution series sort of mashed everything together immediately. Skybound have really taken their time. They've kind of fleshed out these kind of stories. They've highlighted specific characters, and I think they've done a phenomenal job of incorporating quite a lot of characters already into this storyline without it feeling like people are getting missed out. We're not really learning much about characters. I feel like there's like Void Rivals, and it's getting like we're getting a lot of backstory on all of these particular characters. And even though sort of like Pythona was definitely like in and out, drips and drabs here, there, and everywhere, she's definitely starting to become more prominent in the series as well. Energon Universe Combined is confirmed. I heard Chris say it, says Bad Wolf. Okay, cool. The quicksand cover is fantastic, says Ted. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? And I believe that is Solila, I believe, getting like this quicksand treatment. And then he says, completely forgetting there's another cover there, a very cool cover by Martin Marazzo and Chris O'Halloran. And that is this kind of weird, again, another weird creature with Darak kind of gripped up there. So that's an interesting one too, like a snake creature. Very nice indeed. Yeah, so Void Rivals. This will be. I think this is one that I'm kind of excited for because it kind of puts these characters on a weird planet. It's very Star Wars esque. This kind of like particular story, like they've crashed on a planet, and they're going to have to find a way off it, basically. Energon made Cobra La cool AF, says Jeremy. Yeah, I agree. But I always thought it was cool. Well, I guess they've made it generally cool as opposed to just cool for the nerdy kid over here. Love the Energon universe. Was nervous at first, but really digging it, says Rob. Yeah, same, man. I wasn't really nervous actually. I've just been excited the whole time, and because my expectations are constantly kind of, I don't, not just met, but like, they go beyond them most of the time. I haven't really had an opportunity to, I don't know, to feel sort of like um concerned or worried about where it's going to go. They've just been like, and also the volume of releases is unreal. Like, we are getting a lot of comics all the time, which is awesome. Jeremy says Void Rivals highlights Hot Rod, Springer, Pythona, and Rom, so definitely critical to overall narrative. Oh yeah, I'd say so. Bad Wolf, that cover on the right reminds me of Dormammu's realm in the first Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, that those colors, isn't it? Sort of like weird, sort of like unsettling rainbow, but it's like not a rainbow. It's like it's like a, yeah. It's really cool though. I know what you mean. It's very cool. Next Skybound arc will add Stargate and Masters of the Universe and TMNT to the. Could you imagine, Huntress? Anyway, there you go. Those are the covers available at your local comic shop, July 22nd, 2026. Yeah, so it's funny. Like, I feel like that's a big wait in between issues, but but it doesn't feel like that because we've got Transformers and Joe and all the other stuff kind of happening in between. So yeah, that's it's not really felt. I don't feel the distance between the issues like I did with IDW, and that would be like, you'd wait ages for an issue, and then they just drop the one, and it would be like, great, and then you'd be waiting another friggin', like 2 months or something before the next one came out. So like, I definitely feel like the frequency of releases, the quality, the standard, the everything is just higher and better. It's great. The fact we've only had two, I would say, notable weeks where we didn't really have much comics news to talk about is kind of crazy, really. If you Especially if you're an Energon Universe fan, you are definitely being spoiled. If you're just a Real American Hero and that's all you're reading and that's all you care about, that's again totally fine. And I feel like that's being, you know, well covered as well. And the fact that, every now and again they'll do like a weekly comic sort of series, like the Silent Missions. Those are freaking awesome. Like, to squeeze those in and get like one a week was nuts. Jeremy says, remember when we accidentally leaked Void Rivals, Chris, and certain people questioned how did you find it, and it was all because of a random leaked Twitter post? I do. I do remember that, actually, because it was a poster, wasn't it? Someone had tweeted like a poster, and it was too early. It was in a comic store. I do remember that big time. Um, yeah, it was like no one really believed that it was a thing, but it was like Energon Universe. It was it Jetfire and of course the Void Rivals characters and everything. It was, yeah, I want to say it was like a poster that shouldn't have gone out, basically, early or something. And yeah, someone took a picture of it and posted it already. Um, Luke says, almost got a heart attack just getting the live stream, and I thought we were already Friday. Yes, sorry, I've gone early. I've gone a day. Well, I've gone 2 days early, technically. I should be on a Saturday. Um, could Hasbro do figures based on Void Rivals? They have Crimson Cobra Commander. They've done 2 O-ring figures of Derek and Solila, and Jetfire obviously came with those 2 as well. So that is a set that is available. Will they do more? I don't know. Will they incorporate Void Rivals into like a 6-inch, like a classified or something? I don't know. That'd be cool though. I'd like to see Darak and Salila in kind of classified format. But again, I think from a Hasbro perspective and a Skybound perspective, you're 2 different things really here. Void Rivals is definitely a Skybound owned property that they have obviously been allowed to utilize and sort of like establish in these universes that they're also licensing out from Hasbro. So there's definitely like a bit of like there's some it's all, a bit weak, like tangled up, I would say. But it would be really cool to see Void Rivals toys, more Void Rivals toys in the future for sure. It was a poster, yeah, from promo material that broke street date. Yeah, that was it, Jeremy. Yeah, that's a man, that was crazy. But before that as well, like I remember the first there was it was like the first like inkling that IDW were losing the license. Skybound were immediately attached to it. It was so insane. I remember like it was like, oh, IDW's license is going to be coming to an end, and they're not renewing, and or like the news on the street is they're not going to renew or whatever. And then like there was an official announcement that IDW were going to be, finishing at a certain point. They didn't want to kind of announce then the next people that were taking on the uh what do you call it, the licenses, like Transformers and Joe and what have you. And instead we got like, loads of sort of like not hit pieces, but like so loads of sort of like the word on the street kind of articles, or we have it from under good authority. And they were right. It was actually, it was with Skybound, and and they've been freaking awesome with it. And the funny thing is, I was really really upset that IDW were losing the license. And even when I found out Skybound would be taking it on, I was like, is that a good fit? I don't know. Like, I don't really know much about. Obviously, I know Walking Dead. Obviously, I know like Invincible and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really sort of grasp the kind of, gravitas that Robert Kirkman was really gonna, his name attached to these things was really gonna, give us like an extra, give the brand an extra level. So I was kind of like a little bit skeptical. Genuinely, I was skeptical. And and then when everything started coming out and all the issues and we started reading it, I was like, this is the best thing that could have happened to the brand, honestly. For comics wise, there isn't a better company out there that could have well, there isn't a company out there, not a better company. There isn't a company out there that could have done a better job, in my opinion. And you may disagree, but I really think they've done absolutely phenomenal with this. Um, and anyway, continuing New Comic Book Day, the Harmer Files issue 31 also popped out on Wednesday. Um, I've obviously read this one before, quite a significant issue as well. But I have not read the Harmer Files a little bit at the back. That's something obviously I want to rectify. But for those that haven't read issue 31 of the original Marvel GI Joe Real American Hero series, first off, what you're doing, and second off, whatever that means, it's one of the greatest battles in GI Joe history that redefined the series. Destro, Firefly, and Cobra have Snake Eyes surrounded. Can GI Joe arrive in time to help save Snake Eyes from impossible odds? Yeah, they can. Yeah, this is a Thursday weekly. Sorry, guys. Then again, if you're just joining, I've gone early. Anyway, that is out. Go get it. And that is pretty much all of the comics news this very week. Sorry, I'm just going to sort my bum out. Right then, we'll get into the next bit of news, which I, off the top of my head, obviously can't remember because I threw this together in a hasty, ridiculous fashion. But we'll find out together, won't we? Let's do it. Tiger. Yes, Fans Hobby have revealed their Joe Fest exclusive VE02A Thunder Tiger, which is effectively their sort of like fake Fang helicopter, but in Tiger Force livery, which looks absolutely gorgeous, of course, because I would say that because I absolutely adore Tiger Force, but there we go. Surprise, surprise. Jeremy says, I have Harmer Files in my pull list, such a great little project. I do enjoy them. I do enjoy reading these comics randomly out of nowhere, but then at the same time, I kind of wish they'd have done way more with it, like breakdowns of each panel, like detailed, like, breakdown and sort of like Larry's sort of like anecdotes throughout the entire issue would be so cool. I know that would have been even more of a project though, but that would have been great. I'd have loved that. Anyway, I was just about to check if you put up any new videos on Boss Fight. Says hi, it's me, UK7MQ. No, not yet. Right, anyway, so yes, Fans Hobby Joe Fest exclusive is the Thunder Tiger. And like I said, it's their sort of like not a Fang, but in Tiger Force form. And I think it looks really, really awesome. Am I going to get this one though? Probably not. I do have the rather glorious Air Tiger, which is honestly, it's great. That is like the Skyhawk, but a Tiger Force one. It's beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. This one looks amazing though. It does look amazing, and uh, the problem is like we're we if Classified don't do a Fang and a Skyhawk in the future, then I'll eat my hats, all of them. That's not confirmation. I might just be sitting here eating hats come the end of the line. Um, in like, I don't know. I'm just going to say it. They're just going to stop it at the end of this year. Could you imagine? Obviously, I couldn't, and I don't want to imagine that. But they're not going to do that. But in any case, I would eat my hats, all of them, if we don't get a Skyhawk or a Fang in the classified kind of arena. So, is it worth getting into these sort of things? Are Classified likely to do the Hasbro team, likely to do a Tiger Force version of the Fang after it's out? I doubt it, but like I don't know at the same time. So, there's a lot of questions with these kind of vehicles because they are cool, but at the same time, it's gonna, there probably will be a classified version eventually of a Tiger Force Fang, though maybe not. So maybe this is more. This is a slightly safer bet, possibly. Anyway, but yeah, that's the Joe Fest exclusive anyway for Fans Hobby, and this will be, like I said, over the weekend available to pick up. I don't know how much it is. Was there a price on the post? I don't remember. The Chosen Prime booth, I believe, will have it. They're usually the ones that sell these things. All of a sudden, I can't find it on here. Okay, so yeah, so the location, yeah, okay, there is all the information we want. It's $150, as Jeremy puts in the comments as I say it. It's obviously 112 scale. It is the contents you get: the Thunder Tiger helicopter with LEDs, so it's lights involved as well. Additional stock will be available at thechosenprime.com after the convention and while supplies last. Cool. So yeah, there you go. 150 bones. It is pretty nice, and I don't know, we'll have to see. And also, what I'm like when it comes to Tiger Force, it's like you had me at hello. So I'm going to be doing some very solid thinking about this one, I think, over the next couple of minutes. Brilliant. I was only joking about the classified line, guys. They're going to keep doing it. They will. The only like I could see Hasbro like imploding before the classified line goes anywhere. Like, trust me. Like, if the classified line does not continue, it will be because Hasbro has destroyed themselves, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility. The way things are going. If the Trouble Bubble got Pythoned, I wouldn't rule out a Tiger or Python Fang. Yeah, true, Scott. But it's more about like the Tiger aspect of it. Yeah, I mean, like this is good. This is cool. I think, like I said, I think out of all of the sort of safe bets, this is about the closest you're going to get with what they do in terms of the vehicles they've already got out at the moment and the vehicles that they do in these sort of liveries and what have you. Like the Air Tiger I picked up is gorgeous and I love it, but I feel like they'll probably get a Tiger Force Skyhawk in the future. Like I feel like that's going to happen. So I think a Tiger Force Skyhawk is more likely than a Tiger Force Fang, is what I'm saying, in like a more confirmation situation. Hi, it's me says confirmed Hasbro's imploding. Full force news. Amazing. Hasbro corporate is more sinister than Cobra could ever dream to be, says Ted. Funny stuff. Anyway, it's extensive enterprises, isn't it, Hasbro? We've got some good angles of this one as well. Like you can see all the different crevices of this vehicle. I must admit, I do. It's out of all of the vehicles they've done, the Fang is not. I don't think it's the best one they've done. It's probably like the back of the queue. This obviously, this kind of deco raises it up a bar, but like some weird proportions going on with this one. I know they're kind of retooling or reutilizing sort of the Skyhawk cockpit a little bit, but it's not like. And I suppose it is different enough from a Fang. It must be, unless they, are just ignoring C and Ds. I don't know. But it's really cool, and they do make really good vehicles. To be fair, the Air Tiger is fantastic. Like the quality is incredibly high. Lots of great features, lots of cool little details and everything. It's beautifully made. So like I don't, there's a real high level here that Fans Hobby are working in. It's not just like a slap together sort of knockoff 3D print sort of situation. Not saying that's a bad thing either, but like there's definitely a level of quality to these that I think you don't necessarily expect. I wasn't, honestly. The the ATAC, incredible. The Air Tiger, from my own personal experience, is absolutely perfect. This particular vehicle, I'm sure, is very good, very cool as well. But yeah, it's also higher price point as well, isn't it? So you for $150, you better hope you're getting a high quality of vehicle and what have you. There it is from above. There it is from the side with the propellers moving. There it is from the actual side. That was more from the angle, wasn't it? 3/4 view. That's from the side. I do think this silhouette looks better than the other angles of it, and I think it's because you lose that sort of weird sticky outy cockpit kind of fatness at the front. Yeah, a bit more kind of close up on the old seats. There are all the lights on it as well. The lights are great too. The lights on the Air Tiger are really cool. And I might have turned all the lights off in the basement, turned all the lights on all my vehicles that have lights, like the Hiss Tank and the Dragonfly and the Air Tiger, and pretended I was in some sort of like night operations sort of thing where I literally played with my toys. I might have done that at age 45. And what? Here is an AI shot of it in the forest. Apologies, but they always have to squeeze an AI shot in there nowadays, don't they? Which is a shame. But there it is, looking cool in the jungle. How did it land in there? That canopy must be a lot bigger opening than it's really saying there, or that's like right at the edge of the tree line. It doesn't look it though, does it? It looks deep in the jungle, in the jungle. Yeah, lovely. And there it is with the lights on again from a different angle. These are the order of the images as they were posted, by the way, and I just didn't think to put them in a better order to make more sense. Like, look at all the lights in the same couple of shots. Look at all the jungle pictures in the same couple of shots. No, I put them at different stages, so that's me being an idiot. Anyway, that is the Joe Fest 2026 exclusive what is it? VE02A Thunder Tiger, which is amazing. Like I said, that will be available at Joe Fest for 150 United States dollars, and will be available after the show at thechosenprime.com while supplies last. So if you do want one, you better get one, bruv. Right then. Next, and we have, I think, Hiya Toys. So let's get into some Hiya Toys. Yes, Hiya Toys have revealed their exquisite mini 4-inch Cobra officer, which obviously takes a lot of takes lead from the Cobra Trooper that they've already done, and has given us a sort of another redeco, but with slightly different elements to create the officer. Now, the Hiya Toys kind of like Cobra Trooper officer design is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a really dope design, and definitely, I think if I might be wrong on this one. I did get confirmation on this, I believe, and I think this is a Hiya Toys design. I don't think this is an early like classified concept or anything. I think this one specifically isn't an early classified design, but it's really cool how it kind of resembles an early classified design. Do you know what I mean? So like, if Hire, I believe Hire did, took it on themselves to create something very different for this particular figure, or the trooper at least initially. And yeah, and we end up getting this sort of like crazy cool sort of segmented armor which looks like like a pecs and a six pack sort of situation. And yeah, I think I was a fan of the design of this particular figure, and the officer just kind of continues that with a slightly different kind of deco and you know slightly different kind of design in the color. Like it doesn't have the it does have the camouflage, but obviously a different type of what do you call it? Like different deco, color or tone or shade. And then of course you've got the V helmet, the yellow sigil, yellow, the silver sigil, and what have you. What I do need to have a look at though, because I'll tell you what I didn't do and I wanted to do and completely didn't do it, but should have done was a comparison image with the actual trooper itself. Because we have had a Python trooper as well, haven't we? At some very recently, I want to say, yeah. So we've had the Python trooper, which is again the same sort of same figure, but just a completely different deco. And of course, the helmet doesn't have the big kind of silver V on it. So they're more troopers than they are, and then the officer obviously has a slightly different helmet. In terms of the actual trooper, though, it's going to take me ages to find it because it's a long time ago, and Hiya Toys really reveal something every week. Well, every day they reveal something new, and because they've got obviously got more brands than Joe, haven't they, as well? Um, we haven't had a Crimson Trooper yet, have we? Like at all? We haven't had like a Cobra Trooper that's been Crimson and classified or anything, have we? That would be kind of cool. Hunter says, "Good God, Chris, you're stumbling over your words something fierce today." Cool. Right, let's see if we can find this Cobra Trooper. I am genuinely of the idea here that it is the same figure, just like the Python one. And I just want to see what the difference in deco is more than anything. Because I think obviously the sigil is a different color on the officer, the silver. Um, where are you? Where are you, you Cobra Trooper? Man, they have literally churned out figures every day. I've gone too far. No, that was I thought I'd gone too far, but I got to Cobra Commander, but it wasn't the original post. It really was a long time ago. I'm at Stalker now. That's how far back we go. I could have just looked at my higher grid, but unfortunately, I did not update it because it's going to take too long. So instead, I'll do this in completely, different maneuver. Yeah, okay. So the it's the helmet more than anything. The sigil's red on the trooper. The officer we're looking at the moment obviously has the silver one. They both have a very similar kind of like camo in that blue and black, sort of like the kind of almost like a jungle camo with this, they're like stripes, but sort of like not. These I believe are 27, I want to say. I think they're at $27, aren't they, guys? For the 29.99 now. They've gone up. So yeah, the 29.99 for the 4-inch Hiya Toys exquisite minis. Crimson Trooper, that's a ridiculous idea. Crimson is for elites, not for grunts and crafts. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's interesting because obviously we've seen Crimson utilized on a lot of figures, and the fact, we've had it in a Viper, we've had it in an Alley Viper, we've had it in, all sorts of random places. Soon to be a snake armor, by the way. How cool is that? And I love the fact they used a Palatoy like escape armor image from the comic, like from the bio page. That was amazing for the reveal on that one. Obviously you've got Crimson Guard, obviously, but they've used so many different kind of figures for bats as well for Crimson that I'm surprised the troopers never got that, or haven't yet got that privilege in classified or higher. I'm sure it'll happen. Great promo images as always from Hiya Toys, and I got to say, I think the troopers are where they are excelling. This trooper, this officer, the trooper version, all the Python Patrol kind of guys, the Viper, all of those kind of figures and characters, I think are absolutely phenomenal. And the Alley Viper, because they used that original classified design, which is so cool. And we were sitting on that input for the longest time, and it never seemed to go out anywhere, but it wasn't like super secret or anything. And I was surprised I'd never seen it kind of posted anywhere. And so yeah, we got the opportunity to kind of like actually show that and be like, oh, cool, this is what they were, designing. This is what they designed their Alley Viper from. The kind of original classified version. Yeah, I said bats. Yeah, so cool. There you go. And again, cracking shots. It's a very, very cool figure, but that's pretty much all I can say about that. We can have a nice image. These nice images actually show it a little bit kind of clearer on the sort of grey-white background. And yeah, we get to see all the accessories and stuff that the figure comes with. I didn't realize it comes with a tablet. That's pretty neat. And then obviously the same kind of structure as the trooper with the guns and the pegs into the back. And yeah, he's got a tablet. So this is what he comes with, which obviously the classified version doesn't come with. But this isn't really the classified trooper, is it? Or officer in this case. You've got the sort of like, I don't know what you call it, but like a sort of like a laser sniper rifle that we've seen with the troopers. You've got the sort of like, is that an HK sort of family machine gun? I'm not really sure, but it's a cool one anyway. And then you've got the two pistols, you've got the spare fists or the spare hands, you've got the dagger, and you've got a tablet, which is a nice touch. Have we seen the tablet before? Have we seen the tablet before in Hiya Toys? Because that might be like a what's the word? Pre-tool or like a little preview that we might be getting like a cover girl in the Hiya Toys range. That would be interesting. I wonder if they'd do that first version cover girl that we got in Classified. I do like that figure. I might be one of the only people on earth that likes that figure. Oh, it's AR family rifle. Thank you, PBJ. I'm not completely au fait with every single weapon out there by any means. I kind of stopped really getting into it when I was probably like, I remember getting. All right, I don't think there are many UK people on the show watching right now because it's very, very late. But back in the day, there was a magazine, sort of like in the 80s. There was a magazine series where you would buy like the first couple of issues and you get a binder, and it was called Combat and Survival. Do my UK family, oop, do my UK listeners and viewers remember that? It was really cool, and it was like a Marshall Cavendish thing. So you get a binder. The first couple of issues come usually at the same, like first, like you should get the first two issues released at the same time, and it was basically everything was about like military, special forces, like articles and like fun little kind of like breakdowns of like vehicles and real world machine guns and historical kind of like battles and stuff like that. It was really, really awesome. And things like, surviving in like tips on surviving in like, difficult kind of situations or what have you. And it was really fun. It was a great magazine. I was a kid. I loved it. I remember getting that, and there was an NFL Marshall Cavendish series as well. And I remember just loving reading like the NFL issues because they were so cool, man. Like all those vintage, imagine all the vintage sort of like helmet and jersey designs and everything from back in the day. And yeah, God, they were great. And I've got full binders of both of those, combat and survival, and the like, the American football it was called. Um, it was great. Anyway, they would have breakdowns of machine guns and stuff like that, and rifles and what have you, and like information about them all. And so as a kid, I was really into it, and I was like really like like a nerd about it. And then at some point, I sort of like dipped out and then lost track of pretty much all the new sort of like weaponry and rifles and guns and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely was something that I don't really have a strong grasp of anymore. But it was always, as a kid, it was always something I was really like into, like, studying and everything. There was a really good issue of that Combat and Survival, which was all about the Iranian embassy um, SAS mission and everything, which, yeah, that was nuts as well. And that was one of the reasons that the SAS force from Palatoy was always like really cool, because like it was like you get action figures of like the guys that raided the Iranian embassy sort of thing. It was neat. Anyway, not that vintage, Scott. No, they just, as in like the old school American football like logos and stuff like from the 80s. But yeah, anyway, that is Higher Toys Cobra Officer. Um, I assume we'll probably get another reveal soon because they just churn them out all the time. And yeah, yeah. So I suppose we're gonna have to get, if you're getting an officer, we'll probably have to have a Python officer, right? That'll probably happen sooner rather than later, but we'll let you know if it does happen. They I was a bit quicker to share this one this time because they usually drop at like between midnight and 5 a.m. is usually when they drop their reveal of the next Higher Toys Exquisite Mini figure. So I'm always asleep. But I get up early enough for it to be not, I've missed it by like an hour or two or whatever sometimes. But this time I was on it. I was up at like the crack of sparrow farts for some reason, and was able to share it and go, oh, there you go. Don't have to worry about that now for all day long. There is the High Toys. Right, let's move on. And next, we have a message from our sponsor. Order yours today from totaltoybooks.com in the UK and Europe, from skeletron.com in the US, and from Amazon everywhere else. That is the Total Action Force. It's the Battle Action Force Deluxe Treasury Editions. The Total Action Force is something completely different, and that will be coming soon as well. Very excited about that. Anyway, next up we have some Super 7 news. They teased a Glow Patrol figure for Joe Fest, so it's very likely we're probably going to find out what this is in full tomorrow, or maybe even sooner. Who knows? They might even post something like now while I'm doing this live stream. I'm just checking. It looks like we're clear. But yeah, the image was of a Snake Eyes in this amazing glowy Kardashian, in this glowy styling. Now we have had Glow Patrol already in the line, have we not? With the reaction line, we had the sort of glow in the dark Cobra team and the Joe team, and this isn't necessarily Glow Patrol, but it's just Glow Joe, and it is just a Snake Eyes figure we can see at the moment. Now we were under the impression that that there would be 3 exclusives for Joe Fest, right? Obviously, we've seen those 2 Ninja Force figures. I assume they're gonna be there. I assume they're gonna be some sort of exclusive for Joe Fest. So that would leave, a third. This kind of does it insinuate one figure or does it insinuate a line? I don't know actually on this one. Chris, be honest, how many tabs do you have open permanently on your computer? At the moment, 1. Do you know why? Because the, streaming software we use, like, struggles when I've got more than 1 tab open. Usually, though, I would say I have 15, I wanna say, 10 or 15, because there's a few things that need to be open all of the time. Planning documents and all things like that. That's just on my full force kind of thing, though. And then you've got like my other work tab. I've got multiple different, not tabs, but like accounts. So I have been known to have 3 accounts up, all with multiple tabs running at the same time, and it's all Chrome. So in terms of productivity, you can just forget about it. Weirdly enough, it does pretty much like run comfortably though. It's crazy. Anyway, Jethro says Glow Patrol Cold Slither Zartan. I like the sound of that. Glow Patrol Dino Hunters Leoric. Okay, now we're talking, Jethro. Anyway, yeah, so Snake Eyes is a possibility of maybe being on his own or possibly being part of a subgroup here. So yeah. 15 is the low end tab, though, is a low end account, Blitz. I could give you I'm too embarrassed to tell you what my work one is, because that's at the point now where I can't actually see I can't see what any of the tabs are. I can't see what's written on any of the tabs, just see like the first like couple of letters. Dot dot dot. Chris, your computer is begging for death. You'd be surprised. It's a very cool, awesome. It's doing well. It's fine. Um, Anyway, what? So yeah, I don't know at the moment, and we'll probably find out sooner or later. Like I said, tomorrow is probably a good bet. We're going to start seeing stuff from Joe Fest, and yeah, I'm excited to start seeing it all, but 2, I'm also like sad that I'm not there, and I'd be great to just be able to be there and just post things from the actual floor. But you know how it is. Sometimes you can get to these things, and sometimes you can't. Right. So anyway, that is keep an eye out. You might miss it for the loudest Snake Eyes yet. But anyway, there you go. Is it multiple figures? It could be. This does kind of hint at a possible kind of like little subline of Glow Patrol sort of characters, doesn't it? Well, anyway, we'll find out soon, and I'm excited to find out with you guys because I don't bloody know. Next up. It's classified time. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about FanStream 4, but there's actually a little bit more kind of news, classified wise, that have kind of come out recently as well, which we'll kind of get into. And of course, the missing render, which went up as well today, which we'll get into as well. But before we get into sort of the FanStream stuff, let's look at Duke showing up. So the USA 250th Walmart exclusive Duke is starting to show up in these cool little end caps. And what's really funny is that they messed up the display at Walmart because they put Duke under the Transformers and Transformers under the GI Joe. And I'll tell you now that is a mistake because I had it confirmed that it's an error. Isn't that funny? So anyway, yeah. Does any classified news ever come out of Joe Fest? Asks Robert. Not officially, no, because Hasbro don't have a presence there. But that's not to say that they may have posted something on the day of one of the days. But like, I don't, not usually know, in that sense. Bad Wolf, you may not be able to answer this, but why doesn't Hasbro do more with Joe Fest? Just too small of a show for them. Seems like a perfect cross promotion for Yojo June. No, it's because of I think that honestly, I think it's because of the fact that Joe Fest also have unofficial sort of third party companies there, and I think Hasbro corporate don't like that too much. I believe that's the reason anyway. Bad Wolf. Um, okay, Chris, hear me out. Super7 could release a 3-pack of Scarlet, Covergirl, and Lady J in their Cold Slither fangirl disguises. That'd be cool. I'd be well up for that. That'd be a really cool set. I love that Cold Slither episode, and I love when they're doing the backup singing. The Full Force, the Action Force International Heroes redub VHS version of that is terrible, and I love it so much because it's so bad. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on our YouTube channel, and which you're probably on now, obviously. But if on our YouTube channel after this episode, search for Cold Slither Overdub, Full Force Cold Slither Overdub, and you should be able to find the video where it's literally the Average Joe band and the Action Force band versions, and they overlap each other, the audio, because weirdly enough, there was a VHS version that came out that didn't get rid of the original audio track, so you got this horrible sort of like double sort of like it's awful, and I love it so much. Anyway, that's by the by. Duke is showing up in Walmart's, guys. If you missed out on, or if you were screwed over by Walmart with this particular release, then I would check your Walmarts physically, because it's likely you'll be able to grab one there. Okay, coolsies. Now, as well as that, friend of the show, Luc Poulon, from that up there, Canada, in Canada, as it's also known. Now, the Target exclusives are not like, they don't have Target in Canada, but they get these through fan channels, and this just seems to be the case sometimes. Every now and again, Canada will get like a set or a figure like delivered first because of that particular route of getting those particular figures. So they get them this kind of through fan channel means, and Luke shared some wonderful pictures of his Scarlet and Shebang 2-pack. So thank you very much, Luke. Appreciate that. And I've posted all the images are on our socials, of course, if you want to check them out. But we're going to go through some of them here now. So here's the actual packaging of Scarlet and Shebang in there. Fantastic stuff. Do I think we will see Night Force Triple T, the Nightshade, I think it's called. It's called the Night Raider, Crimson Cobra Commander, and I would love that, because that would be a really good way to get Night Force Outback as well. You could do a Night Raider with Night Force Outback. If I find it at Walmart, I may steal Duke, teach those effers a lesson for cancelling shiz. JK, of course. Grizzlehorn, mate, no jokes necessary. That is a crap business model, in my opinion, of going, here you go, have this for pre-order. No, it's cancelled. We're going to put it in the store instead. What the hell are they doing? Seriously, it is just it's a mixture of ineptitude and just a downright we don't give a crap at the end of the day. And they have done this every single time for every single release. And as a fandom, I don't think that the fandom have like allowed it to happen though. At the same time, like it's not like it's definitely what the highest complaint since day one has been the Walmart distribution, has been the Walmart issues. Target had a pretty bad start, didn't they? But they've sort of figured it out. And even then, like there are still problems there. But I think Walmart has a worse track record. It's not actually. They're not like well ahead. There's distance there, but it's not a lot. I mean, Target could catch them up, but definitely, I think Walmart lead the way for that sort of we don't give a crap, and we will just, we won't fulfill your pre-orders, and we'll make it really anxious and difficult for you to try and get it any other way. But yeah, I don't think we're not on our own in that complaint with Walmart for sure. Yes, Joe, indeed. Do I know if the Triple T be exclusive? The Triple T is Pulse exclusive, I believe. That's what our listing information said. If I'm right in, hang about. I did get a confirmation on something which I can tell you guys about. Um, oh yeah, okay. So we have it wrong on our listings with the Crimson Snake armor. It says Pulse exclusive on the listings, but it's actually an Amazon exclusive. So I will rectify that, and we'll get to that when we get to the listings anyway. But that was one thing that I needed to fix. So yeah, Amazon will be the place to go for your Crimson Snake armor when it comes out. The the Triple T, I believe, is a Pulse exclusive, as far as we are aware. So there you go. You're welcome, Crimson, for the information. I just wish I was a little bit. If this was my only gig, if Full Force was my only gig, I would stream, I would create content, like actual short form news content. I would do things very differently than I do them at the moment, and I would have updates, and I would have like everything would be like constant. It would be the 24-hour ESPN style GI Joe news, etc., etc. And it would be, if this was my only gig, it would be every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. That is what it would be like. Unfortunately, it isn't. So you get kind of a fraction of it. And sometimes I'm in a situation like this, I would have done an update video. I would have done, like, a bit of information to go along with it. I'd have done all sorts, maybe even some discussion on the point. But as it is, you just get me in like sort of maybe two or three times a week if you're lucky, four times a week if you're a Patreon and you're lucky, a patron and you're lucky. But yeah, um, would I hire Pat as a co-host? Hell yeah. If this could be our only gig, then trust me, I would have, I'd sort them all out. But as it is, I do have to pay bills, unfortunately. So that requires having an actual, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. That's hilarious. It's more like friggin' like 24 hours a day. That as well. Just everything is all at once. There's everything everywhere all at once. Anyway, should we look at Shebang and Scarlet? Here's the back of the box. We've seen the renders on the on the actual pre-order, so this isn't anything really new, but it's nice to see sort of in hand images. And here they are walking up the steps. Must Are they backing up the steps in sort of like a fight with a bunch of ninjas, or are they like, are they going down the stair? It feels like they're moving backwards. What do you think, looking at that? Are they retreating slightly, like getting in a defensive stance as they're going back up the stairs slowly, being like maybe being approached, or are they run down that pathway, got to the gone down the steps, and that's them in sort of like mid steppy down sort of situation? What do you think is happening in this particular image? Because I always find that interesting. I always find that very interesting with like how people decipher these sort of narratives, because someone else is making this decision, and it's probably someone in graphics. It's not like, I don't think like Lenny's not like wasn't there going, yeah, have them running down the stairs. Like they don't touch that really. Do we get Patreon after this tonight? Unfortunately, Robert, no. I There's no way in hell I can do that tonight. I Sunday will be the regular Patreon Q&A on Sunday. At least your regular job, sometimes people accidentally send you dog photos, right? Yes, hi, it's me. They do, and I'm cool with that. Standing ground on steps as Couch Boy, yeah, exactly. Like kind of like but like more in a sort of like stepping backwards rather than going forwards kind of thing, right? I don't know. It's really cool. Anyway, I like it. It's like rugby. You retreat to find an opening and push through. I like that, Lawrence. Indeed. Ninjas take the stairs, says Huntress. Good point. Good point. They just like, why are they even stepping on them stairs? They should be like, they shouldn't be on the back of that render because they're ninjas. They should have taken out the cameraman already, and that should just be a black screen. If it was real, if it was true to life, right? Um, the photo is messaging their weight on the back foot. I think. Oh yeah, they'd be leaning more forward if they were coming down. Yeah, they're definitely. Shebang for me. In fact, Shebang and Scarlet both look like they're leaning back a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, beautiful renders. I think they're great. Really nice back of the box job there. Here's Scarlet in her absolutely beautiful green and neon greeny yellow. That's neon green again, isn't it? Very, very lime green and gold deco. Freaking awesome. I think she looks great. A really good update from the original Ninja Force Scarlet. And the only thing I would have really liked about this one, if they'd have been able to do it, is given her like the big 90s hair that we saw in like, well, there's an iconic panel that comes to mind in one of the later issues, where she's just, the hair is like, it's like proper Farrah Fawcett vibes. So yeah, like I think that would have been really cool. We do obviously the ponytail, very much like the action figure, and the alternate head that she gets is really dope as well, with the sort of like demon head. It's so cool, that one. Defensive, says Pop Cult Frenzy, fending off 50 red ninjas who are behind the camera. That's my feeling, definitely. I'm glad that you guys are seeing that too. This box art is some of their best, says Ted. I agree. Simple but awesome, yep. Hi says Ninja Takes the Stairs was one of the better Deke episodes. Retro Card will have the wild hair. Jeremy, if they start giving us Retro Card Ninja Force figures, I'll be so excited. Why does she look so Canadian here? Because she was they're in Canada already, that's why. Is this a reissue of the Retro Scarlet head? Don't think so, actually. No. Just the head. I don't know. It might be, and they've just got a different what do you call it? What do you call the face print? It might just be a different face print they've put on her, but it could be the same head sculpt for sure. But yeah, she looks great. This alternate head is pretty dope as well, with the little demon kind of mask with the horns, different hair up this time, and yeah, the green eyes, the sort of black, and then the gold. Oh, so dope. Chris, should the Arctic 3-pack be up for pre-orders? Not yet, no. That will be fall, maybe SDCC, but yeah, not right now. Could very likely happen at SDCC, yeah, for sure. The Arctic 3-pack. Farrah Fawcett is 70s hair, but I'm with you. Yeah, JR Parker, I just mean in the style of it, not as in the time period. But her hair in the comic, in that one panel, reminded me of Farrah Fawcett, because they both have that sort of huge, voluminous, sort of like, you know, flowy Kardashian hair. Flowy Kardashian. It was a silly, terrible pun. But yes, she is definitely 70s hair for sure. If anyone was interested, I was bored last night, so I looked at the intro banner shots from the Sunbow cartoons, two miniseries, season 1 and season 2. We have every character from them except drivers. Oh, right, cool. Really? I could have sworn that Thunder isn't at least one of them. I could be wrong though. I may have missed that. We're missing Cutter, Ace, Slipstream, and Cross Country. Oh, okay, cool. Right, so yeah, okay, just those. Cross Country, though, I feel like he's in one of the intros, but I could be wrong. Ace is in one of the intros, Bad Wolf. You've missed one very obvious scene out. You see Ace, you see the reflection of the mothership in his visor. So Ace is 100% in the one of the intros. So you're not missing Ace. And I believe Cutter is also in the whale in the season 2, I want to say. Why is people saying Thunder is a driver? I know he's a driver. The comment was that it's everything except drivers, but I'm pretty sure the point where I said that, I was saying that Thunder's in it, and that would make it an incorrect statement, right? Oh, you mean you're missing them in classified? I thought you were talking about the intros to the cartoons. I see. Okay, I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. You're talking about classified. I see. I thought you meant as in we were missing them in the intros of the cartoons. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're talking about Scarlet at the moment, aren't we? And now Chabang. Um, Again, I really like. I think this is a really well executed version of this figure. I love the secondary. It's very simple, but it's just doing it for me. The yellow kind of padding and the Arashikage symbol in black, lovely stuff. And the mask, he's very, what's the word? He's very lucha coded, with that mask and everything. But my God, I think that is such a cool mask. Love it. Love it. I'm really digging that head sculpt as well. Something very, very cool about his head sculpt. And then of course that insane tiger head. Yeah. Now, I initially, when we saw some very early kind of um inputs of this particular figure. And what was interesting was that the tiger head, I think, was originally planned to be yellow. So very interesting that they went white with it, which I actually think is really cool, and it adds another color break, and it's more interesting. But yeah, I think I don't know what I'd have preferred. I think the white one's pretty cool though. Lovely stuff. Here they are, showing off some more of their weapons, all the claw and pointy based kind of weapons there, look. And yeah, and that's it. And now we're on to Yojo June. So anyway, thank you to Luke Poulon for sharing those images with us. And if you want to look at all of the images that Luke sent us, you can see them on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, uh, Blue Sky, Threads, everywhere pretty much. I always love the c the host chat misunderstandings, like a slow-moving car crash until it gets cleared up. Big time, Studio Henge. And there's a lot of those on this show. I think I am the misunderstanding king. Um, yeah, I think Lenny mentioned that on one of the interviews you did with him and Tony. Oh, about the mask. Was that the Dan Larson one, maybe? Might have been Dan's, interview, yeah, possibly. But cool, yeah. Anyway, Yojo June. Iceberg, looking very cool. I'm going to summarize these. So, Iceberg for me, when I saw the render, I was a little bit disappointed. Not going to lie. I thought that color is not doing it for me. These images come out, and Dan Larson has confirmed that this is what he looks like, even in the studio, even though the studio image looked a little bit grey. That is the color of Iceberg, with his eyes as well. So love it. Very, very excited now about Iceberg, where I was a little bit down. And again, the initial render showing the goggles on, I had a feeling they'd be removable, but I'm really happy that they are removable. So sweet. Also, what I'm really excited and happy about is how sexy that snowboard looks underneath. Like the actual deco and design is well good. Well, Iceberg, right ahead. There you go, guys. I've done it now. It's almost as bad as the Zorana now, isn't it? Because it's a similar voice, it's a similar mental voice. Iceberg, right ahead. Anyway, the other thing I would say is I was really thinking, oh, they're going to do are they going to do a retro version to get the color right? And then could we at least get the M60 or whatever it was in the end that you guys decided it was? But yeah, I'm just so happy with how he's turned out. And I think the sniper rifle's actually pretty cool. It looks good with him. It gives him I don't know, it feels a little bit more suitable for him than the M60. I haven't fondled Iceberg Huntress. I will tell you what I have fondled as we go through them, but I haven't seen a physical Iceberg. Right ahead. Amazing. Yeah, his snowboard graphic is delightful. Blitz. I'm a massive fan of this. Massive. I said the Zorana one, Couch Boy, on the last burst because I did it in unison with Iceberg right ahead. But yeah, so really, really happy with how Iceberg is. He's fully ticked the box now, and I'm just really excited for that. I saw a post someone had made, and I'm not belittling them, okay, but I saw someone talk about the fact that they were disappointed because they wanted Iceberg to be a deluxe figure to sort of make up for his lack of like accessory care in his vintage appearance. And I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I think you have to be careful with deluxes, as Classified have found out as well. I think if you just willy-nilly throw anyone in there, or for the reasons that aren't necessarily this character is going to be one that people really, really want to get in a deluxe fashion. You got to think about as well the kind of current pricing situation we're going through at the moment. The fact that you know Iceberg is a known and popular character, but he's not like an A-lister by any stretch of the imagination. I think Snowjob being a deluxe made a lot of sense. Snowjob being a deluxe made a lot of sense. Although Snowjob being a retro as well makes a lot of sense too. And I'm really surprised they haven't done that yet. I personally thought Lifeline would have been higher up in the deluxe choice category to Iceberg, even though they're both. You could probably argue they're both at a similar level in that. Maybe Lifeline has a little bit more sort of commercial appeal because he was in more of the episodes. Iceberg's definitely had his shine though. He's been in a lot of really good episodes. He was in Arise to Pencil Arise as well, which I really enjoyed him in, especially the animation errors on Iceberg, which made him white Iceberg a couple of times, which is crazy. And anyway, yeah. So I think there is a definite sort of like care when it comes to sort of making certain characters what's the word deluxe. The other thing they'd mentioned in the post, sorry, I can't remember who it was, and if you are watching this, I don't mean to like call you out. I'm just like I thought the post you made was actually quite interesting, and I also liked the sentiment behind it. But I'm trying to come at it like this is why I think Hasbro would never do that. Is really what I'm saying here. And I'm just using your particular example because, again, I think it was an interesting one. But the other point that was made in that particular post was that they would have thrown in a Iceberg version 2 head. Now, again, I get why that would be kind of like a cool idea, but I personally just want a version 2 ice bag. Iceberg. Ice bag? What's an ice bag? Is that when you just got a really cold back? Anyway, Iceberg version 2. It's interesting that obviously that figure comes with a snowboard as well. So this is more of like an homage to that with this figure. Does that mean we'll never get a version 2 Iceberg? Not necessarily, because you could do a different snowboard with version 2 Iceberg, and one that closely resembles that mental thing that he's rocking in the vintage figure. So anyway, when do you think we will get Deep Six with Finn back? Asks Lawrence. That is a great question, and one I would hope would be soon, but not in the near future because I think we know what the figure and pets are at the for next year anyway. Um, anyway, but yeah, so I think Iceberg. I think they've done a great job here with him. I think the sculpt is beautiful. I think the head sculpt's great. There's he has enough going on for it to be like a really good solid figure. He's sort of in. I think he's kind of in the same sort of vicinity now with my kind of like feelings on Wetsuit. Sort of like, yeah, perfect. No notes. Just that's great. Let's go. Yeah. Anyway, by the way, yes, that recent wave we got in. I mean, I've got a lot of figures here at the moment I need to get into. I still haven't got into my Ramp Rats. I haven't got into Zanya and the Chameleon yet. Duke, 250th Duke, the Rock Claw, and the Deinonychus. And then, of course, you've got your Dire Night Creepers. Haven't touched them yet. Zartan, haven't got him out yet. And then the whole wave. Funnily enough, haven't opened Overkill, Airtight, or the Hydra Vipers, or Sundown. Dawn is the only one I opened, and the only reason that happened is because she came separately, Kitty said, and was just in my lap, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Opening this one at least. So Dawn is a great figure, really love her. But man, I'm excited to get stuck into some of these because there is a lot to get into. Yikes. Anyway, Iceberg, lovely stuff. Then we get Duke. Now, this one is an interesting one as well. I do this wave I think is really solid, even though it does lack a little gravitas, if you know what I mean, which is weird, isn't it? Right. So obviously Duke brings the sort of the A-lister in this wave. And I think there's a reason why we've got this Duke in this wave, because the other characters in it are not what you would call A-list characters. How dare I? But Iceberg is definitely sort of like, lower on the sort of like character listings in that sense. Mistress Armada is an almost, you could argue, a lot of the fandom just don't really know who she is or really have any backstory on that character other than knowing her name, possibly. Um, then you've got Synapse, which is a brand new character entirely. And then you've got a troop builder in the Toxo Viper, which again is people are digging it and people love the Toxo Vipers, but it's also also like one of the ones that I think a lot of people a little kind of like, in the same sort of boat as your crystal balls and your, not completely, but you know what I mean, sort of like the weird and wacky elements of Joe. Even though there's definitely like a love for the Toxo Viper, but I definitely think Duke is bringing that sort of A-lister, and that's why they've put him in here. Um, because it does feel it feels a little random. It feels a little Duke feels a little random, even though he's really cool, and I like this kind of tactical, kind of modern kind of look and the beard and everything. I think it's really dope. But they've definitely got it's a bit of the wave doesn't, well, first of all, it doesn't have a narrative connectivity, does it? You've got Toxic, you've got sort of like Synapse, who is this complete like a techno, was it tech romancer? I think Lenny described him as. Um, you've got your Mistress Armada, who is Iron Grenadiers, very specific sub kind of team. And then you've got Iceberg, who is Winter Operations. There is very little, there's almost zero connectivity with any of these. You've got, like, you could argue they've just gone different environments for every single one. And that's kind of interesting because they don't often do that with the waves. Um, this has been happening a lot more recently, though, I would say. And I'm not saying they need to like release a whole wave of winter figures. They need to release a whole wave of desert figures. But I feel like in the past they've done a lot to try and tie them all together in a diorama narrative. And this one is just all over the place. It's just a random bunch of figures just at the same time. Which again, it's not that, it's not that big of a deal, but I almost feel like I've been spoiled with the classified series, where I'm expecting Easter eggs, homage. I'm expecting a certain level of quality in, sort of like the interest and the renders and the background, things, and the diorama photography. We're super spoiled in that regard. And there's still some solid stuff going on here, but it does feel a little less cohesive. Does that Am I just talking? I don't know if it's like something you guys also feel, but yeah, there's definitely no snake armors in the background. Bad Wolf. I wish it was one of the 90s versions of a real American hero, Duke, says J.R. Parker. Did I say crystal balls? Yeah, I was kind of doing the pluralization, wasn't I? Sorry. We do need a wage of desert figures. Desert Hal wouldn't go amiss. That would be cool, actually, Huntress. Yeah, definitely. Headquarters confirmed in the background, says Crimson Cobra Commander. It's pretty cool little setup, though. I would like to see more sort of play set kind of situations, but at the moment we're just getting, and again, this sounds like I'm complaining, but we're just getting like, the modular fortifications, which are cool and all. I've got a few of those and really like them. I want to see more things like that, but not necessarily just boxes. I want to see sort of like, like back in the day, they did so well in that vintage period to give us like really fun like dioramas like sets. you know, like a rifle range and a bivouac and what have you. And I know we're getting a bivouac soon. So yeah, maybe I'm just being spoiled, actually, Blitz. But I think it's that thing of like, you know, they've raised the bar so high for this line that it just, you know, it makes you kind of want more and more and more. I mean, look, sitting next to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different figures that I haven't opened yet. And here's me going, "Ah, we need more homages in the background." Like literally is what I sound like right now. Um, Grows a beard, gets a whole new outfit and vibe to match. Duke is a fancy lady. He really is, actually. We need to see more of the headquarters Dio we saw with Lifeline. Agreed, Huntress. Um, Rugged Flint next, please. Imagine a bearded Flint in gear. Well, now you're getting me. Now you're getting me hot under the collar, Jeremy. Flint being one of my favorite, if not my favorite character in GI Joe. Whereas, like, yeah, it's Flint. It's always been Flint. You had me at Flint. With the movie anniversary next year, I'm sure things will be more related to one another. Oh, for sure, Robert, for sure. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of movie related stuff next year, for sure. I want small vehicles that make sense for the figures we have, i.e., Polar Battle Bear. Agreed, Lawrence. I think Polar Battle Bears. I think. What else can we have? Little ones of Devilfish. I think a Devilfish would be dope. Although would be quite significantly a good size, but still, I kind of count that as like your small-ish vehicle. Um, yeah, I agree. I think a polar battle bear would be outstanding. Armadillo is a good shout, Squishy. Yes, an armadillo would be fun, and you could do like thunder with that. You could do thunder with an armadillo because they've sort of done that in the past in the 4-inch line, haven't they? What about Tiger Force Flint, Chris? Is that your true love? Yes. Hi, it's me. If we get a retro Flint Tiger Force, it's game over. I'm quitting. That's not true. I say that about loads of different figures. Are we getting Energon figs next year? I think so, Grizzlehorn. I think we'll probably see something. I think we'll see more Energon universe symmetry, synergy. I think we'll see more butts. I think we'll see more retro sort of not retro, what am I talking about? I think we'll see more 40th anniversary kind of like stuff as well. I think there'll be like heavy in those kind of areas for sure. We could use a desert slugger and armadillo, says Joe. Yes, we could. I posted the other day when I got Dawn, but that was the first new mainline figure I've had shipped out since February. There have been some deluxe retro exclusives, whatever, but not mains. Yeah, I guess I don't really see, like, I don't really look at it like that. But that's a very good point, Bad Wolf. But I kind of, you know, if I'm getting a figure in the post, no matter what sort of like level it is, or what sort of deluxe level it is, or exclusivity level it is, I'm feeling like I'm getting, you know, serviced, as it were. Anyway, I will actually also say that I think some of the Duke photos, photography are really solid. Some really nice shots of Duke in this environment. You know, kind of like that one with the explosions, really cool, and then the one with where he's checking his chest tablet out is really dope. And yeah, that's a nice one. The running one, that's a really cool pose. There's definitely an art to posing figures, and a lot of people I know have this art. I'm looking at you, Corey Cantaloupe. I'm looking at you, Lenny. I'm looking at you, Tony. They're all good at it. Annoys me, but yeah, it's definitely an art form posing it for sure. Bearded snake eyes. He's sad no one noticed, says Couch, but that's hilarious. Anyway, anyway. I'm by issue 17 of the Energon universe, and what an amazing comic. They're all great, Robert. Yeah, it's a wonderful see. Like the Energon universe is so cool. Wait, the data pad on his chest there, is he aiming an explosive from the Predator? You know what? I haven't actually looked at it, but oh my goodness. I haven't actually looked at that yet. I need to get a proper close-up look at that because it does look a little bit Predator, doesn't it? The old little kind of bleep bloop 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 sort of like situation where it's kind of like incoherently disappearing. I've got to look at that image though. I desperately have to look at that image wherever it is. Where is it? Where are you? Oh, I guess I didn't really post anything, did I? That's the other thing. I was so busy that day, I couldn't actually get anything posted. So I'll just look on the screen here. I think it is. It looks a little bit Predator, doesn't it? That's really cool, if it is. Butts, battle urgency trench stations, and of course the tiger butts as well, says hi, it's me. I like that idea. Um, Scarlet would notice, I'm sure. Lols. I hope we get more of these rugged characters. We might do. I could see that being a thing, like, every now and again at least. But yeah, very cool. There he is, Duke. Now, the Toxo Viper. No notes on this one. I like, apart from the fact that the images show multiple different errors in the legs, in the lower legs. And we did work out that you could actually easily fix it. It's not like a impossible. It's just that the shin is twisted round the wrong way on some of the shots, which yeah, is quite funny to me. And like I said, it would be quite a funny little situation if the figures came with that error and you had to kind of keep twisting all the legs round. But either way, this image is perfectly fine. This hero image, as they call it. And then, as you can see here, on the shot on the right, his shin is twisted the wrong way around. On the right, on his right leg, there should be that little tail thing on the back of the leg, and it's not there. It's because it's around the front of the leg, and we'll see that on some of the other shots coming up, like that one on the right. Anyway, it's really cool. I do love this figure, and I can't wait to really get like a few of these bad boys, and yeah, start kind of like getting the sort of like toxic mole rats sort of like situation going on. Diatech probably works nicely with these guys too. It's going to be like a fun little group of weirdos, in my opinion. And I love the helmet option where it kind of clips off the top, and you've got this kind of neck piece around the bottom of the face. So you've got a two-piece helmet sort of situation. It's kind of cool. Yeah, very nice indeed. And there's another shot of the twisted shin maneuver. Crazy. Can't believe they didn't notice that. I love the one of the shot through the grate. That's great. And yeah, another shot with all of the accessories and everything attached. Very cool indeed. It's yeah, awesome. And then so Toxo Viper, no real notes on it. I'm excited to get him. And yeah, that's it really. I think that's another one of those sort of wetsuit scenarios. I use wetsuit as my sort of like the kind of level that I really like. That's kind of like the sweet spot for me, where the figure looks great, very vintage inspired, and still comes with some very cool updates, which actually make the figure even better, rather than give him the exact same sort of underwater vehicle. We've got something that's slightly different and more and a lot cooler, and actually connects to his backpack as well. So it's like I don't know, they just hit it out the park with wetsuit for me. Now, as for Armada, of again, high level banger on this one for me. Like, my only note is that I think she could have done with a soft goods cape. Even if they'd have reused the Twilight Guard cape, I think she would have really benefited for that sort of extra silhouette, extra kind of element on the silhouette, because it makes her a little bit more elevated that way and sort of like up at the same sort of level as Destro, because obviously the gold helmet does a lot as well, like that kind of puts her up there. So I don't know, I just kind of feel like I don't know, I feel like we need I feel like she needs that, and I think if I can get another Twilight Guard, I may just yoink the cape for her, because I think she'd look really good with it. Other than that, though, I think this is a beautiful figure, and I was surprised that we got this sort of design. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the in the I would say the torso area. She has got like a very interesting boob window design, of course, but like the fact that it's not just like like a female Iron Grenadier uniform that you could then later just swap ahead and create a female Iron Grenadier, I think is like I don't know, it kind of makes her way more interesting. It makes her sort of like stands out. And yeah, I think like the even like down to where these kind of like silver or metallic sort of armor on the like the wrist gauntlets and all the way up the thighs, all the way down. Like the kind of armor that she's clad in is insane. She's sort of a bit Baroness like, just in a different color, because Baroness would have had the similar sort of kind of like armor breaks, but in black. Whereas doing them in this sort of like metallic kind of finish is amazing. Um, yeah, and then of course the other thing I may have done is, like, again, from my perspective, I'm looking at it like making her, differentiating her from like what would be a normal Iron Grenadier kind of figure, right? Which is crazy. We don't have either a male or a female retro Iron Grenadier yet. That seems so mental that we don't have that. Um, as much as I love the Iron Grenadier with the jacket, the sort of officer looking guy, we need a retro. And like I feel like her sort of leading, you know, a group of all sorts of different Iron Grenadiers is really, really cool. The sword and the pistol, though, sort of definitely puts her in a position where she sort of needs to be in a despoiler, or she needs to be in a kind of like more sort of like not a forward position, because she, with a sword and a pistol, she's a bit exposed in more ways than one. But yeah, this almost does feel like if the Baroness was an Iron Grenadier Baroness, this is kind of like what Mistress Armada has sort of taken from her. You've taken this from me. But no, I think she looks fantastic. The head sculpt's insane. I think she looks great. And the gold sort of like Persian, Babylonian, I don't know, like Egyptian, all sorts of different sort of like, I don't know, vibes going on with the design and the sort of like all of that. It's just crazy cool. It's crazy cool. The sword pegs in, yes. The sword pegs on her belt, I think, on her side. Yeah, you can see it. It's on the image on the right hand side. Pegs into her waist. It's literally on that image on the right hand side with the gold head. Can they just call them Iron Grenadier Infantry and not make them retro? When I say retro, Ted, I mean as in vintage inspired. I mean vintage design. I don't mean a literal retro carded figure. I just mean an Iron Grenadier that resembles the old school Iron Grenadier. That's what I mean when I say retro Iron Grenadier. I don't mean it needs specifically to be on a retro card back. It could be. It definitely is one that would fit that sort of vibe, But again, like, I'd take them in a regular classified mainline for sure, or a multi-pack at this rate. No joke, I obviously know the crown is removable, but is the cape removable? Because it would look cool on her. The cape, you mean Cobra Commander's cape? That is a removable one. Yes, I believe it is, but I don't know how. It's the same as it's no, yeah, it just got loops over the head. It's very simple. It's a removable cape. Yes, 100%. I just had a brain fart there for a second. It would be great to see an IG Baroness someday. I agree, Al. Definitely. I want Iron Grenadiers with no coat. Same Crimson. That's definitely my vibe too on that one. Anyway, she's great, and I'm really impressed with her. And again, I think they've definitely leveled her up as a character design, and we've got something that's way cooler than any of the other things that I think any of the directions they could have gone. So yeah, really, really dope. Destro's cape is also removable. Yes, Huntress. Yeah. Anyway, the fact that he was talking about the crown removable thing made me think that it was specifically talking about Cobra Commander's cape, though, not Destro's. But yeah, they're both removable. I want the heavy machine gun Iron Grenadier. That Shellback RC is a great shout, by the way. Absolutely. I think that'd be great. And like a Moneybags Destro, like a Winter Operations Destro would be really cool. I'd love, yeah, a lot of the sort of Pursuit of Cobra coded kind of releases would be fantastic. Yeah, skulls on elbows, skulls on knees. I love all the skulls, additional elements on the design elements on her. She's awesome. And she gets a file card, which I did promise I'd read out, but I can't be bothered. Sorry, guys. You'll just have to read it yourself. But it's cool. And of course, Lenny did post his input for Mistress Armada today, 3/4 view, I would say. And there she is with the accessories as well. Very cool. I also so I should say one more thing about Mistress Armada. My other thing would be to give her some sort of rifle as well. So, yeah, you can have your, like, your pistol and your sword, have them stored on you. I think a cape and a rifle would have been really cool, but I can see where or I can see why maybe things have been costed out in this scenario. But she looks great. There you go. And now we get to Synapse, the new character. Again, I will kind of breeze through this a little bit because I do need to finish soon, but I will say that I am a massive fan of Synapse. Having seen this figure in hand, same with Duke, Mistress Armada, and Synapse, I have seen, felt, held, looked at, played with. They're amazing. Synapse is so frigging cool in hand. Like there's so many interesting elements to it. The sculpt is off the chain. You've got like the really cool sort of like omega red tentacle that comes out of his wrist with the claw on it. You've got the backpack with that hand that either be open with the eye on it or closed, which obviously signifies whether he's controlling the dead, which is nuts. Um, Obviously the backpack is removable, so he can just like look fairly normal, just like a regular cyborg. Um, but yeah, it's just nuts, absolutely nuts. Um, what else was I going to say? The head sculpt. Oh my god, the head sculpt is off the chain. And again, like the hair is really cool. I don't know, I just really like it. There's a strong vibe on this one for me. It also reminds me a little bit of the 1000 Toys Bait Duke figure, which was a basically cyborg with a fake skin face that you could pull off, with the hair as well. Like the hair and the face were kind of like a separate piece. If you don't know about the 1000 Toys Bait Duke figure, check it out. It's amazing. 12-inch and absolutely gorgeous. And really cool as well. It comes with a little jacket, soft goods, and all that kind of stuff, like a 12-inch figure, but like super crazy, weird, like cool articulation. It's a cyborg GI Joe, which is crazy. And it's definitely got those vibes on the head sculpt for sure. Same kind of thing with the hair as well. It's really neat. I love it. I love the style. I think it's a really cool character to introduce into the line, and the narrative and backstory seems very full and very rich and very interesting. From Darklonia, has beef with Destro, is joined force with the Cobra Commander, basically to fight Destro now by the sounds of it. But just so many cool things going on with this one, and yeah, I'm very excited for this one. Very excited. I want to see this in O-ring. I want to see this in like multiple different styles. I really am interested to see what he'd look like as an O-ring figure, like Super 7 style or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, wonderful. I was so blown away by this, and I know it's a bit Marmite in the fandom. I know some people are some umming and erring over him. I think he's one that might grow on a lot of people. I think he might grow on a lot of people. And I will say there are more new characters to come in the classified series. I can attest to that because I've seen them. So we are going to have a couple more like in the near future, and it only gets even better, is what I'm going to say on that one. It's nuts, and they you could argue even more insanity is to come as well. So I'm just going to throw that out there. More new stuff, and not like I'm not saying it's going to take over the Joe line. It's only going to be like occasionally popping up, like they have done previously with like Rockclaw and this guy and Sundown. Not like every single wave is going to have a new character, but it's definitely going to be they're definitely going to be sneaking in some good stuff that's brand new, which is awesome. Right then, funny that they showed this cyborg. Now that Overkill is shipping, I know we've got loads of cyborgs in the line now. It's awesome. Right then, what else we got? Oh yeah, he's doing a dance in these images as well. I love it, and there are Iron Grenadiers there as well, aren't they? Interesting. Interesting that he's using Iron Grenadiers. Mainly because he hates Destro, so that's what's going on there. Yeah, cool. And there he is with the little tentacle as well on his wrist. Again, that looks really dope as well in real life, and it kind of plugs into his little hole under his wrist here, which is dope. Any new female characters, if you can say? That's a good question. I can't remember off the top of my head, Jay. I'm not being an idiot there. I am being an idiot there. I mean, I'm not doing it on purpose. I might just be having a brain fart. The one I'm thinking of, there is one specific one I'm thinking of, is male, but I imagine there will be new female characters in the line as well. I just off the top of my head, I can't think if there are any. Yes, there are. Yes. Yes. There's 2 more new characters coming in the near future, and one is female, one is male. I can't believe I forgot that. That genuinely, that is me being an idiot and just brain farting. Yes, I can. Yeah, there is one of each. Yeah, cool. Um, anyway, and here's his file card, which you can read on our socials. I'm not going to do it now, but it's really cool and has some cool backstory for this particular guy, including the whole element of Darklonia, Destro's sort of connectivity, and the fact that he's working for Cobra now as well. Cool. Render reveals. Let's get through these fairly quickly because I do have to go. I'm so sorry. I've gone over time. Retro Falcon. Everyone has been waiting for this since the first Falcon ever, and we finally have him. He looks great, using parts from original Falcon in terms of the body, I want to say, and then arms and legs. I think was it Hit and Run and Footloose? I can't remember exactly, but there's a bit of a kit bash going on there, and of course the Night Force Falcon head, and yeah, he looks like the Falcon we should have had the first time. Shotgun might be new, Robert Yanes. Yes, I don't know for sure, but it could very well be. And then, of course, we have the Valkyries, which again, in that sort of like kind of Cobra Trooper OG sort of coded vibe as well. A bit more simplified, and deco kind of tone of blue is switched to that sort of like retro Cobra Trooper. And yeah, again, a nice little option to army build some of the Valkyries as well. I have two of the two packs, so 4 in total of the Valkyries. So I'm definitely going to get a couple of these just to kind of like fill out the ranks there, the Shabba ranks. Yeah, I think the more the merrier for me, and I think it's a really good one to do for the retro live, definitely for the retro line for sure. Arms are not footloose, says Jeremy. I can't remember what the build was again, Jeremy. My apologies. And I know you sent it to me. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I know it's a bit of a kit bash though in terms of the whole figure. And then of course Flash, who finally unlocks the full OG-13, which I think is going to please a lot of people. It satiated a lot of the fandom, and yeah, we're getting Flash. And I think for the most part, it's Flash. He looks really, it's like a solid vintage inspired figure. Yeah, we knew the backpack, the hose, and the laser. We'd already seen those. We'd already seen the helmet, of course. And of course, with Grand Slam, we sort of saw the body as well. So it's really just a head sculpt reveal, isn't it? Yay! No, really cool. And I'm glad that we've completed the OG-13. And they're still going to be like, dipping into it by the sounds of things with, I can only really basically, from what BMAX said on the streams, a tan grunt is possible, right? That seems like that's something they want to do. And then, of course, retro shooter. So getting shooter sort of in the, back to her kind of retro vibe from the Declassified comic. In any case, yeah, Flash. We also got the Tomb Raider reveal, and I think this Lara Croft figure is exquisite. I'm so happy that how well this came out. Just such a great figure, loads of gear. Now I have had a bit more information on this particular figure in terms of what it actually is. We had a listing for NYCC right now. Apparently there will be limited quantities, like early out quantities at New York Comic Con, but it is not necessarily a New York Comic Con exclusive, if that makes sense. So it will actually just be effectively, technically mainline, I believe. So they'll have them available at NYCC, but they will be available after the fact quite, you know, quite comfortably. So just to kind of like be more clear on that one. And on our listings, it says NYCC, but effectively, it will be available there to purchase at NYCC first, I guess, and then available like everywhere else. So that's cool. Oh no, not first. Sorry, it'll be. I think pre-orders actually go up on SDCC CCC, so it's not an SDCC exclusive either. It will just be like there'll be like physical um copies of it at NYCC. Does that make sense? It's a bit confusing, I know, and I've made that way more confusing than it needs to be. But just to be kind of like as transparent and clear as possible, that's where we are with this particular figure. Okay, cool. Now we know less, which is even crazier, isn't it? Anyway, comes with a lot of gear, which is great. I don't know about the number, Kevin. I doubt it. If Action Man isn't, and you know, sort of those sort of collab things they keep doing. If they're not if that isn't numbered, I don't think this one will be. But that's not to say it won't be. They might do that. Some people were saying that she's probably going to be retro carded because of the explosion background that she's on. But I don't know about that either. All very speculative at the moment, so we'll have to wait and find out, I guess. Lara and Action Man both really turned out great. Happy to see them join the line. I know a couple of Brits in the line, eh? Lovely stuff. She looks great. And then this dropped today. We kind of expected this. We did expect that it was going to be Night Force Psych Out. But my God, he looks great. My only thing I would say is that I think they have chickened out a little bit on the satellite dish elements of this particular figure. I think it would have been kind of cool to have the old elbow dishes and then like the little he has another one on the like on his it's on his that like crazy little I don't even know what it is, like an audio processing unit or something, but it's got like a big dish on it and it's a handle and it's on like weird silver futuristic. It's like a futuristic lunchbox, basically, isn't it? Yeah, so like I'm a bit sad that he doesn't come with that, but then you never know. They might do like a regular psych out that has, you know, some of those accessories. I don't know, not a clue. It's more likely we'll just get this redecoed in the standard fare. And you know, a regular psych out is just around the corner as well. Like there's no doubt about it. Green, white, whatever, silver, grey. It's amazing. Now, it looks as though he is going to be equipped with, how did they put it? They put it a certain way, and I can't recall exactly how they described it. Hang about. Hang about for like 3 hours while I figure this out. BMax posted, oh yeah, he said it comes with 8 accessories, including an NF88 psionic disruptor rifle with removable blast effect, a psionic resonator pack with 2 blast effects, a knife, a pistol, and a psionic shield that can plug into either of his wrists. All the gear Psych Out needs to strike fear into his enemies and fight back against Crystal Ball and his growing Diatech power. Also notice they spelt Psych Out wrong. Like, so Psych Out without the E. I'm not sure if that's like on purpose or they've had to do that, like to avoid like, you know, copyright or whatever, but it should be an E at the end of Psych. Interesting though. But yeah, cool. This whole psionic effect thing is going to be like the counter to the Diatech, which is fun. And like again, brings these kind of characters and figures, you know, into sort of a narrative kind of like back, like, you know, it makes sense that Psych Out would be kind of leading that, I guess, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, I do kind of miss the dishes, and I know they've given this like Sonic Shield thing, but I kind of sort of also wish that was a little bit like a satellite dish. Why do I want satellite dishes all over him? Anyway, that is a retention strap on the holster. Yeah, they've been doing it for a while. Bad Wolf. They've done it on a recent figure actually. They're getting better at it for sure. It worked really well on the last figure I messed about with. Might have been, was it Dawn? No, I don't think it was Dawn. There was another figure I messed about with the other day. It had a one of those little retention straps. No on the dishes, says PBJ. Whatever, it's cool. Anyway, Yeah. So, like, I think there are two more listings that they're going to reveal, right? One is a Target exclusive. It's a Ninja Force 2 pack. The other one is a Night Force sort of, dire tech sort of possibility as well for Walmart. And then we're looking at in-hand 2027 stuff, but obviously they're still going to be revealing things at the end of the year and going into pre-order, but they'll be for the beginning of 2027 in hand. So, because of that, yeah, we might see. I don't think we're going to see Psych Out regular version for a while though, just because I don't think like maybe next year, but also it might even be a bit further away than that. But anyway, I think he looks great, and I want to see this in Tiger Force anyway. So the more the merrier for me, please and thank you. Name only reveals as well. We had the obviously the Crimson Snake armor, which is very very cool. Now I may have had this in hand as well, and it's freaking awesome. But yeah, this is absolutely incredible. And I'll also go out and say the only thing I'll say about this is it's not completely red all over like this. I know we've got the black hands attachments and everything, but there's a few kind of cool color breaks in it as well. But it's amazing, and yeah, I think people are going to be very, very, very happy with it. I mean, it's exactly what you kind of imagine it to be. It's a friggin' snake armor in that crimson color. Very dope indeed. So cannot wait to see that one. And then of course, Footloose and Mutton Junkyard, the Mad Marauders 2 pack, just around the corner as well. Very excited for those. Again, just in one way to tick a box, but in the other way because I really like the Marauders. I love the decos. I love the fact that we've kind of completed a sub team there with these guys. I say that, but then of course you can kind of really throw in Hardball there. You could also throw in Falcon, um, and technically the Renegades as well. So there are more, and Sergeant Smasher. So there's definitely other Marauders they could do, but in terms of the vintage lineup, jobs are jobbing. Have I seen Junkyard? I have not. I haven't seen these two. No, I haven't seen these two. I haven't. And the Triple T with Sergeant Slaughter. And yes, I have seen this, and it's freaking insane. Insane. You're gonna love this. Well, I am. I don't care if you guys do. I'm all over this thing. Um, and yeah, it does come with a Sarge as well. I can confirm that. That's on the listings. So there you go. Um, yeah, this is going to be next level. Is next level, and there's a lot of really cool features on it, and it's just insane. And I don't really, you guys, you just gonna have to wait and see. But it's not far away. I think SDCC by the sounds of things. So keep an eye on SDCC. It's going to be an insane weekend, that isn't it? All week, I'm going to be like busy AF because I do like the day recaps for SDCC, which I do enjoy doing over that weekend. But it is it's a lot to cover, and you know, the way that the socials work for the GI Joe socials as well, they'll be posting stuff randomly all over the place as well. What color is it? It's the color you're looking at on screen, Jonesy. Crimson Cobra Commander, what price point for Triple T? Not a clue. Not a sausage. All the price points we had on our listings might as well just be completely pointless. Because we've had we've known about a lot of these things for a long, long time. And the prices have just gone all over the place. I don't even know what the prices are now. Like I don't know what the actual price is with before all the fees they've thrown on top of everything as well. So like I don't know what the actual price points are, you know, initially. It's crazy. Everything just seems so random. And then I'll go into Pulse or try and order something, and it'll just be like, those are just they've just dropped a bunch of numbers, and wherever they've landed, that's how much it is what it feels like. Do I think we'll get Fridge William Perry down the road? Not. I don't think we will. Cold Slither. I think if we were gonna get him, I think that it would have happened already. However, and I don't obviously wish this in any way, shape, or form, but it could change. if like the estate is dealing with it, if you know what I mean, like if he's passed away or whatever. And I'm not saying I want that to happen, I do not. But I don't know what if that changes anything at any point. And I'm not saying he's also like completely against it, but I just don't think he's in a position where he wants to do anything about that. I don't know. It's difficult. It's not something that's an easy just to kind of say yes or no on. And I don't know the ins and outs of like the situation, but I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened ages ago. Um, but yeah, I'd love to see the fridge for sure. I think it'd be so good. Um, anyway, yeah, the triple T is massive, by the way, absolutely friggin' huge. Right, anyway, moving on. So listings wise, the only thing I need to make very clear on that is that Tomb Raider will be available at NYCC physically. Like one of the first times you'll have her physically, I think it will be at NYCC, but she's going to be pretty much available most places, I think, as well. So that's bonus, isn't it? The other thing I was going to say is the Crimson Snake armor is an Amazon exclusive, not a Pulse one. So even though there's a P there, I need to change that to an A to be an Amazon exclusive. And we haven't had an Amazon exclusive for a while, have we? Like on its own, have we? I can't remember. Certainly not this line plan. And I think that's everything. Yeah, we've just got MD Vavoom 2-pack to be revealed, and that'll be like in fall for Target's Fall Geek Out, and the Walmart exclusive JJ Ghost, which will be also their fall Collecticon timing as well. So that's pretty neat as well. All the other listings that we did have that we were unsure about have all turned out to be inactive, and I think we've confirmed all of those now. Yes, we have, because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. And this is where we are with the line plan. Just 2 more items for 2026 remaining. That doesn't mean, like I said, just to be very clear about this, that doesn't mean we're not going to see any more reveals and pre-orders for the rest of the year. Of course we will. But they will be in hand 2027. So the next mainline wave will see the end of like 2026, but it will be in hand 2027. And that is Kermit, Miss, Fozzie, Gonzo, and Ralph. And then, yeah, and then of course, you've also got mainline deluxes, the legacy figures, the pet figure and pets. So you've got those as well that will be kind of like at the start of the year as well, that we'll start seeing at the end of 2026. Right then, the name only reveals officially are the Triple T with Sarge, Psych Out, Nightfall. Actually, no, I can take him out now. I haven't updated this, have I? I haven't updated this, so you can ignore Nightfall Psych Out. He is now updated to digital render, and of course, I haven't updated the digital renders. Otherwise, he'd be there in the bottom left. I need to do that next. I didn't have enough time. Sorry, guys. Anyway, that is everything. Let's have shout outs and then call it an evening. Thank you very much. Right then, Battle Action Force Deluxe Treasure Editions. We saw the commercial earlier today. TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe, Skeletron.com in the US, and Amazon everywhere else. Get them. They're beautiful and wonderful. Shout out to Articulated Points, Phil and Pat. Pat, Adam, and I will be doing the next O-Ring Roundup, which is going to be after Joe Fest. The week following Joe Fest is going to be packed with information that we'll all probably forget about, which is crazy. There's so much to talk about. It's unreal. Also, check out their latest talking point on G.I. Joe manga, which Phil did his kind of addendum to after picking up the last of the G.I. Joe mangas that he was looking for. So they're really cool. And if you like a bit of G.I. Joe history and just toy history in general, really interesting, depthy, cool stuff, check out Articulated Points, a YouTube channel, link in the description. Codename Iowa are heading to Joe Fest, and are actually there now. I can tell you that. They've got some new cool t-shirts in the offing as well, so go check them out, find their booth. They're also running, of course, Assembly Required in the 13th and 14th of November. More information to come, of course. And of course, they are running their fun little Operation Space Chase Fans in Command poll at the moment, which obviously gets us to choose who we want in this particular like the characters involved basically in this particular narrative, which obviously will make a lot of sense come the actual show. Now, these are the leaders at the moment: Duke, Lowlight, Airborne, Fast Draw, Sci-Fi, and Outback. They're leading the way in terms of the selected in all their different kind of expertise levels. And that finishes on the 30th of June, I believe, or the end of June. So get your votes in right now. Go to codenameiowa.com or go to Codename Iowa on their Facebook page and go through the link that way and do your votes because it's fun. It's awesome. And then, of course, massive shout out to Skeletron, who are also at Joe Fest this particular weekend. And they will be, they'll have their 6-inch Assault Trooper, Red Shadow's Assault Trooper, at the show, which I'm very jealous of people for being able to get that. Hook me up, guys, please and thank you. Beautiful figure, and they've done it in 6-inch now as well. And that'll be available at Joe Fest. Go nuts, guys. Buy all of them. Massive shout out to everyone who's going to Joe Fest. I'm very jealous. Shout out to Mark Talking Joe and Tim Talking Joe. I believe Mark's there. Very jealous that you're there again, bud. Massive shout out to the boss fight team, who will be Corey, Henry, and Lenny. Go and chat to them. Go and have fun. Go and have a great time. And buy some sweet boss fight figures as well, because we'll have a lot of stuff at the booth as well. Oh, we're also revealing a bunch of cool stuff as well. So if you get a chance to go to the booth, there should be a sort of like little reveals sort of video being kind of like broadcast throughout the weekend. So you'll get to see all the cool stuff that we've got coming, like soonish. And then I'll make a post on our socials as well, so that you guys can see everything that we showed off over the weekend. Yeah, should be fun. Take pictures, have a great time. Tell me all about it, and I'll do as much as I can in terms of reporting from the show. I know Super7 are going to have a lot of stuff there. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. Not that there's much left of it, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. And I'll see you on the other side of the weekend. I'll see the Patreon crew on Sunday. And as for everything else, if there's news, I'll try and break it. Whatever. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. A 1, a 2, a 3. Full force. Laters. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full force.